So today I have like two pieces of good news and one piece of kind of shocking realization news. The first bit of good news is that I think people might know that by the end of the year, the banks have to acknowledge the court decisions that say they must pay back the massive legacies of gold and silver and actual assets to the heirs of those legacies. They were borrowed on loan over 100 years ago, and now it has been agreed by the courts, but also by the Vatican Chancery Court, that that money must be paid back. And that money was indentured, which means left specifically for um, the upliftment of humanity. So that's one bit of good news. That has to happen by the end of the year. You can participate in that by moving that along, by writing to the banks, writing to the finance ministers in your country and say, are we following this up? Are we supporting this redistribution and return of money to the people? The second thing is the Bradbury Pound, which was a very successful system initiated super quick when it was needed just before the First World War, and it's basically sovereign money issued by the Treasury and independent of the central bank. Now, trying to get independent of the central bank, you would think, oh, they're the two good bits of news. The third bit, which has really struck me today, was that I heard one thing on the BBC. It said, well, this doesn't really come down to how many lives have been lost. It comes down to how much it's going to cost. And I was like, wow, that says it all, that they can brazenly say that on the news, that it isn't about how many lives have been lost. Or even political. It's not even political. It's actually just about money. And I heard it written I saw it written in black and white. Here it says, central bank deal could resolve the political turmoil. Can you imagine? Let's just think about that for a minute. That all this moving of massive, nuclear submarines and dealerships and partnerships and crashing of this deal and boosting of that deal and the bailing out of that and the national debt that we all supposedly have, all comes and what happens next? Who kills who? Who is financed to kill who? Who makes a killing from killing who? Is all down to private company? Do we agree to that? I don't think so. It says here, the central bank distributes state revenues between the East and West. So everything that happens is down to this. A deal backed by leaders on both sides of the political divide to appoint a new central bank governor has the potential to resolve all the political issues in the country. The president of Libya's presidential council, who is largely aligned with the UN-recognised government in Tripoli, was accused of propelling the country into fresh turmoil when in August he dismissed the previous bank governor, Sadiq al-Kabir, who then fled into exile. We are talking about in-house politics of a finance organisation, purely profit-driven, as being the decider of whether there is war, whether there is continued killing, whether we sell arms to people, to other corporations. Literally what happens to us, what's reported, what isn't, and the fate of ourselves, control, technology, what happens to our children, to the environment, what things are covered up, what things aren't. It's an absolutely shocking situation when you can say that war comes down to not religion, not beliefs, not politics, not rights, not wrongs, just who wants what of who.